who hit a batter but then induced a double play and got Jordy Laura to line out to end the inning. First pitch to Smith. Tyler takes a called strike. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Jordy Laura really snake-bitten this ball game. He's had 2 line drives that have been right at Mobile defenders. A line out to Mitch Haniger in left in the 4th, and then Reinheimer in the 5th. 0-1 is in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher Freeman. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll get you a Major League scoreboard here in this half inning, brought to you by Pilot Travel Centers. Already mentioned that the Mariners fell to the Indians 6-0 earlier today. Seattle with just 2 hits, one day after scoring 9. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike to Tyler Smith. Some finals to report. Orioles get the better of the Red Sox 6-5. Chris Tillman with the victory. 2-1 pitch called a strike to Tyler Smith. It's 2-2. A's with a 7-0 win over the Rangers. Padres rally to win in 11 over Atlanta at Turner Field. 6-4 the final there. Number of games still in progress as well on this Thursday. End of 8, Giants and Mets tied at 4. That's been an interesting series for all the wrong reasons if you're a Mets fan. There was a no-hitter. Matt Harvey got lit up yesterday, but now the Mets can try and win it in the 9th. Here comes the 2-2 to Tyler Smith. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rockies trail the Marlins 6-0 in the top of the 9th in Miami. Angels with a 4-2 lead over the Rays, that game in the top of the 8th. Reds trail the Cubs 5-3, that game in the bottom of the 5th. Also bottom 5 in Milwaukee. Nationals lead the Brewers 5-3. 3-2 pitch. Down low for ball 4. Tyler Smith does what he does best. He draws a walk. Was behind in the count, but now he's aboard with nobody out. Tyler Smith with his 35th walk of the season. He is second in that category to only Kyle Schwarber. Smith on first with nobody out and Jabari Blash coming up. Blash was hit by a pitch to begin the 5th inning when Jackson scored all 4 of its runs. Throw over to first, and Smith is back safely. Will Laconte is on the mound now. Laconte, one of 3 Mobile players that is on Arizona's 40-man roster. Sidewinding lefty with a lot of side-to-side movement, but he has not been terribly accurate in this game. He hit Dario Pisano in the 5th inning. Another throw over to first, and Smith is back safely. Laconte coming into this game with an ERA of 4.50. 13 strikeouts and 13 walks in 14 innings of work, and that wasn't really the MO for Will Laconte coming into this season. Had 57 strikeouts, 23 walks with South Bend last year when he was an all-star at both the midseason and postseason points. First pitch now to Blash. He rips it towards short, but Jack Reinheimer makes a diving catch. We've seen that before. Jack Reinheimer flashing the leather. Not the first time tonight he's made a nice catch. That was the best of the bunch, however. It was hit right on the screws by Jabari Blash, but Reinheimer dove to his right and robbed a former teammate of a base hit. Runner on first with 1 out now, and Dan Paolini coming up. Former Generals haven't done anything on offense really to note, but now Jack Reinheimer beginning to bother Jackson defensively. Dan Paolini up now, right-handed hitter. He takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Will Laconte, a freshman native, Memphis native rather. He played his college ball at the University of Tennessee. Pitch outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Are on first, 1 out here in the top of the 6th, 4-4 our score. Pitch to Paolini outside, 3-0. Dan Paolini 2 for 2 with 2 singles, so his hot hitting has continued. Left-handed pitcher Will Laconte has already walked a batter in this inning. He's given up a couple of hard-hit balls, but they've been lined right at Jack Reinheimer. The 3-0 called a strike, and it's 3-1. Reinheimer just robbed Jabari Blash of a base knock. Quiet night here at the Hank Aaron Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. Generals and Bay Bears tied at 4. Jackson hoping to snap a 4-game skid. 3-1 will have to wait. Throw over to first, and Smith is back standing up. Tyler Smith a few days ago went with the clean-shaven look. If you've seen his headshot on JacksonGeneralsBaseball.com, you know he usually sports a pretty full beard. He looks a good 5 years younger without the fuzz. I honestly did not recognize him the first time I saw him. The 3-1. Outside for ball 4, and the Generals have 2 on with 1 out, and Marcus Littlewood coming up. Laconte has walked 2 of the first 3 batters he has faced here in the 6th. Marcus Littlewood, the switch hitter, will move to the right side of the plate. Was 1 for 2 with an RBI ground rule double from the left side, but now he switches things up as he faces a southpaw and Will Laconte. Runners on first and second with 1 out. A pair of walks have given Jackson another opportunity to take the lead. Pitch to Littlewood. Called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. I was watching batting practice a few days ago, and Tyler Smith was taking some hacks. I honestly wondered who the new guy was, and I realized when he had the number 7 on that it was Tyler Smith, but he looks totally different without the facial hair. 0-1 to Marcus Littlewood. Littlewood began the year in Bakersfield, spent last season in Clinton, or at least a lot of it. Also spent some time at High Desert. If you remember, Clinton had that epic comeback last year. They were down 17-1 and wound up winning a game. Here comes the 0-1, down low and away. It was Marcus Littlewood who hit the game-tying grand slam in the 9th inning. They were down 17-13, the Lumber Kings. And Marcus Littlewood came through with the game-tying hit. Justin Seeger came through with the go-ahead hit in extra innings. One. Swing and a miss. 1-2. And now Littlewood is in a hole. Clinton scored 19 unanswered runs in the game. They were down 17-1 and wound up winning 20-17 and 12. And a balk now, I believe. Both runners advance. Will Laconte called for the balk. So now runners on second and third with 1 out. And Marcus Littlewood up the count 1-2. Laconte called for a balk. I did not see why. The infield comes in for Mobile. Drury, Reinheimer, Montilla, and Flores from left to right. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Littlewood. He just has to get it past the drawn-in infield. But he takes strike 3. The 1-2 pitch on the inside corner, and Littlewood yanks his head back towards the dugout, angry that he took that pitch. And now there are 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Still men on second and third for Ian Miller. Miller is 0 for 3, but he has reached twice. Twice he has hit hard ground balls that Rudy Flores has misplayed. That's the first strikeout of the night for Will Laconte. Smith on second. Paolini on second, Smith on third for Jackson with 2 outs. No count to Ian Miller, the left-handed hitter, digs in. Jackson has tied this game up. They scored 4 runs in the 5th. 4-4 is our score. Jackson hoping to take its first lead of the game. Bunt shown by Miller, but he pulls back on a pitch away. It's 1-0 to the speedy center fielder. One ball and no strikes. Lefty on lefty. Ian Miller hoping for his first hit of the series. A base hit could give Jackson a 2-run edge. The 1-0 swing and a miss. Big hack, but Laconte with a tight breaking ball that fell off the table. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ian Miller, the Jackson center fielder. Miller, native of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, played his college ball at Wagner on Staten Island. Started this season in Bakersfield, now he's in Jackson. The 1-1, swing and a miss, same pitch, and Miller once again swung over top of it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Jackson center fielder. One ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 2 men aboard in the away half of the 6th. Jackson looking for its first lead. The 1-2. Swinging a chopper towards short. Reinheimer charging. He backhands and throws on the run. In time to get Miller. That was awfully close. Ian can't believe it. First base umpire and crew chief Alex Ransom put his fist down, signaling out. Jim Horner wants a word with the crew chief. It looked like a possible infield single, but Jackson will not get the benefit of the doubt. Generals put 2 on, but can't get either in. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left in scoring position for Jackson. Home half of the 6th is next. We are tied at 4 on the TJ Network.